Hello Virgo, this is Joe with Divine Daily Tarot, and I'm going to be doing a reading for April 2020, money, money, wealth, abundance, career, finance, anything to do with your work and career life. This may not always specifically talk just about money. It could be about conflicts in that area of your life. A few side notes real quick before I start. I read cards that jump out and pop out usually. I generally don't read reversals in this type of reading. And the most important thing is how do you know if this is meant for you? Well, you'll feel something, you'll recognize it, you'll identify with it fairly easily, and you won't have to force it. So that's how you know it's meant for you. So Virgo, we are going to start your reading. I'm going to pull one card for each week as the foundation, and then I'm going to use another deck to build on that to clarify what it is that those cards really mean for that week for you. And we'll see if we can get a little bit of an idea of what you're looking like in April. A lot of people have been moving to new jobs, careers. I feel like some of you, Virgo, are feeling lucky. I don't know why. I just feel like you're feeling lucky. Someone's just feeling lucky. I don't know if that means anything, but let's see. Maybe we have the Star as the first week. So the Star, that's a good foundation, and we'll see what we got for the foundation for the second week. We got the Hanged Man, waiting for your manifestations to come in. Third week, we have the Ten of Wands. This could be either carrying too many burdens or laying burdens down. To me, I feel like this is going to be about laying burdens down. I don't know, but Judgment. Oh, making a decision or a choice, or maybe there's a decision or choice that's going to affect you, whether negative or positive. We will see. Let's just give these a quick shuffle for when I set them down and pick them up later. All right, so we have the Star, and then we have the Hanged Man. Now, this isn't a cookie cutter template for April. Some of this could be playing out now, and you could be moving into this in April. This isn't exact week to week, so keep that in mind. And some of these things can be a bit mixed up, and one thing could be taking place in another week, or multiple things can be playing out at the same time. Oh, what do we get? Six of Swords. Okay, so again, what I say the theme was moving on, or wanting to move on, or going to a new destination. That's really been a lot of what I've been seeing. Virgo, you have the Six of Swords, clarifying the Star. And to me, this is the Star is really you pouring out, because I love how this shows it's just pouring out, and one to me represents one of these pictures represents just this this intellect and this intelligence and understanding in a higher or more spiritual maturity. The other picture to me is representing the emotion and the feeling behind your thoughts and your beliefs, and being able to just combine all the elements you need to more easily bring in what it is that you are trying to bring forward in your life, specifically in this month of April. And keep in mind, as a side note, I always read cards intuitively first before I read them at face value. So some of you may not be used to that, but that's just how I do it. So anyway, you have the Star here, which is really about this creative process, this ability. You know what you want now. It's really combining all the elements to go after that wish, go after that that big dream that you have. And part of this in the first week is realizing that you may have to go the distance. And this doesn't necessarily mean a physical distance. It can. But to me, this is more of going the distance. To me, in this is more representative of stamina and having to be in something for the long haul. And that's really what I'm getting. Is this is something that is being in it for the long term. This is a long-term commitment. So this is going to take a big chunk of your time over the course of, this could be several months, it could be longer than that. You may be going to school to further your career, wherever you're, excuse me, I'm tripping over my tongue here, wherever you're trying to get to. The Star is the start of this process. The Six of Swords is being in this. To me, this is being committed to going on this, you could call it a journey or an adventure, so to speak, or going down a path to further yourself. And you have the Two of Wands, which is a nice card to clarify this, because that Two of Wands is really, in this deck, to me, this just jumps out and says, I'm looking to the future, I'm looking ahead. And like I said, this is a distant dream. This is a distant thought that is going to take some time to manifest. So that's the first week. And the first week, I think the Star right now is going to carry over from where you're at right now and where you've been. And just having that realization that you have to be committed to something, whatever it is that you are wanting to do. You have the Hanged Man here the second week, and that is kind of just being in suspense, waiting, a period of stasis, not having a whole lot of movement, but because there isn't movement doesn't mean there isn't a lot going on to make things happen. So to me, that really just shows that you may feel like this is going to be a long-term commitment, and you might at times feel like nothing is happening, but really in reality you know that there's a lot going on to accomplish what it is you've decided that you're going to do here. This card wants to come out, so we're going to take it. Ace of Cups. So this is just going after your heart's desire. To me, this is going after your passion, after your love, after your desire here. And the this is, again, something that you haven't accomplished yet, but this is what you're really kind of daydreaming about during this period of waiting. And so this Hanged Man, I don't think is just something that's going to kind of stick around for for the second week. I think the Hanged Man is going to be overlapping quite some time to come. But let's see if we can find out. The Nine of Swords. Yep. So this is about that anxiety, that worry, indecision, and you may be a little bit stressed out and fearful of the process that you have to go through to get to your ultimate destination. But again, because you are so deeply committed and devoted to moving forward in your career and your work life, that this gives you a great deal of anxiety at times, and it may be very stressful if you're going to school, taking night classes, anything like that. It may just feel like it's a lot of work. You may at times feel like you can't do it. But the Ten of Wands in the third week, I think you might feel some of that lifting. I don't think this is you picking up and carrying the burden for the third week. I think you're going to put some things down. Or you're going to realize that you got to put some things down, and you can't take everything on at once. And we have the Five of Pentacles. So yes, so something has to go. Something has to just get put off for you if you want to keep going ahead on your path here. I think that you will have this realization probably, somewhere down the, prior to this with the Hanged Man, that you have to make some sacrifices and some changes. And so you probably have some reflection before you get to this point where you want to put down some burdens, and you're probably going to have to sacrifice something that is not something that you really want to sacrifice. This could be a relationship that's got to get put on hold. This could be any number of things, but you will probably find that you have to sacrifice something. The Knight of Cups. So I said you might have to sacrifice a relationship or something to that effect. And I think this comes out, and the Knight of Cups is passion, could be passion, love, and I think that rings true right here. You probably might feel like that you are going to have to take attention away from a relationship, or maybe somebody that you're involved with is too demanding on you and is pulling at you, and you are getting to the point where you have to make a decision in order to do what it is you want to do and put yourself first. And so I think that's where this Five of Pentacles comes in. It's quite often people say, well, the Five of Pentacles is being left out in the cold, and yes, very, very well, it can be. But I think this is more feeling like you have to put something else on hold. And this is probably a relationship. Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. So the fourth week we have Judgment. And Judgment here, there's really nothing that tells me there's any kind of legal situations or anything like that. So I think this is just that coming to the realization that you are going to have to cut something out, sacrifice something, because it's affecting the furthering of your education or your career, your job. And so somebody's putting a lot of demands on you, And so the fourth week is probably coming to that decision and just saying, you know, I got to choose one or the other. I either have to choose my dreams of my career, my goals, and all these things that I want to do with my life. I might have to choose. You might feel that you're asking yourself, what do I have to choose? Either is it the relationship, or is it the job and school, or whatever it is that you are going through right now. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. Well, so this is, I think this is Earth. And I think this is definitely you making the decision to probably put more of your eggs into your career basket and your work life basket. And this is a very practical, pragmatic person, and confident, independent. So I think you probably are going to make the decision to put more of your time into your work and career. You know, for some of you, this kind of comes to me. For some of you, this could be about you're single, and you may want to be out there dating and doing these things, you know, meeting people, and you're having to just say, I can't do this right now. And there may be just a sense of, you know, loneliness in that aspect of your life. And we have the Eight of Wands. So definitely this is a move that you're going to make, a decision you're going to make to move forward. I think it's going to be because you're driven, career driven right now. And I think you're going to make a decision here in this month of April. And this is a quick decision. I think you finally come to that conclusion and you act on that very quick. So if you're in a relationship, you may end up just, you know, communicating that fairly quickly and not dragging things out. On the bottom of the deck here we have, so we can't get really any more clear than that, the Nine of Pentacles. So this is very, very much about your money down the road and your work life down the road, and ultimately achieving your goals. Some of you might be going to law school, and this is a long-term commitment. And I think this Nine of Pentacles represents that it's a long-term commitment that you are having to commit to. And you, again, like I said, you probably will decide to put your eggs in the basket that have to do with your career, work life, and money, and not into your social life, love life, and relationships. You probably are going to be more heavily weighted in that area. So overall, I think that's the month of April for you, Virgo. And again, this could be playing out, you know, not all in 1 month. It could just be the overall theme of the month, and it doesn't have to be week to week like this. It could be a little bit interchangeable, but I think this is fairly good analysis of what you might find is your situation. Now, if you feel like this fits, if it makes you feel something, if it speaks to you, if it resonates with you, please do me a favor, show me some love. Like, share, and subscribe. So I thank you very much, Virgo, for taking the time to check in and see what your work and career looks like in the month of April 2020. Thank you.